Welcome to Hard Talk right here on GHOne TV. My name is KAFUI. My guest is the Acting General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, John Boydo. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Today is day 488 in your tenure as Acting General Secretary. What's the ride been like so far?
Yeah, thank you very much. And it's been quite challenging. You remember, I'm the substantive national organizer of the party. So I'm combining organizing the party and making sure that the administration of the party runs. And it's been challenging, but it comes to me naturally because I've been working for this party over a very long time. I've managed the party from constituency level as secretary. So the secretarial job is something that comes to me. Beyond that, you are managing the whole human resource of the party, the image of the party, policy of the party. Now that we are in government, you are not only looking at the party in its entirety, you are looking at the party and the relationship between party and government and how to make sure that these appointments that are going on satisfy a lot of other constituencies in question. So it's a combination of a challenging job, but I think that it's okay.
If you were running a business, you would be the substantive chief executive officer. What are your toughest challenges to date running this institution called the NPP?
You see, NPP is a party that cherishes liberty and freedoms of members. So managing aspirations and views of such a group is something that you need tact to do that. We have structures, all right, and we have ways of communicating our views and our positions. Now that you have a lot of media platforms, WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, all kinds of communication is going on, and you need to be able to manage it in such a way that you have one line as a party. That has been very challenging, but we are still on it. Beyond that, trying to manage the expectation of our people. With one power, yes, a lot of work went to it. We didn't manage the campaign the traditional way of managing campaign, where you use the structures of the party right from polling station to national and all that. This time around, we brought a lot of innovation. We had technology department that brought together some very, very sharp young people in managing our IT section of the campaign. We realized that there are a lot of people who, for one reason or the other, cannot be activists like us, but they have a huge human resource and material and financial resource that they can use to help. So we created a platform for them, volunteers. So we call it V16. And through that, we have a lot of young and old and professional people getting part of the campaign. Having won the election, you need to also manage these people in terms of appointment, in terms of position, in terms of getting them to understand what government is doing, where we are, the opportunities that government are creating. How do they take advantage of it? How do they become aware of what government is doing? How do they get back to the people they went to campaign to understand government policies, for them also to understand where we are? So it's been a big challenging. But I think that with the kind of governance we are putting in place, I've been part of our cabinet over the period of time, and I can see clearly the kind of talent around, the kind of understanding, the kind of friendship, the kind of thinking together and making sure that resources are protected, resources of the nation is protected to a large extent. I think that with this, if we continue like that, combining the role of the party and making sure party people and the Ghanaian people appreciate and understand where we are and where we are going, I think that the sky will not just be the limit, it will be the beginning.
Let's talk a bit about the appointments. I can imagine that your office would be probably a conduit for people who would want to catch the eye of the president and so would be flooding you with CVs and requests for you to look at this person. I'm just curious, how many such requests do you receive every day in these days of appointments?
It's a combination of a lot. Yes, you are looking at appointments from all the various available openings and vacancies. We are running a constitution that a good president don't need, a bad president don't deserve at all. You have a situation where a president comes in and need to appoint close to about 5,000 people. You understand? Apart from government policies that will generate jobs, those are jobs that are meant for the mass or broad mass of our people. Those ones are normal jobs. But these are specifically government appointments. And
do they come through you?
Most of them or some of them.
How many in a day? I'm just interested in the kind of workflow that you
now
that
that we've sorted out the ministerial, the one that was also creating a bit of apprehension was that of the MMDCs. Luckily, we streamlined the process, got people to apply at the constituency level. Got the constituency to do a little interview to shortlist the applicants, send it to the region, brought it to national. The presidency set up a committee headed by McMahon to take them through. There were a few people who were delisted at the constituency level. We created an opportunity for them to write to me. If I look at the content and it is deliberate or orchestrated against you, or you have a point, we invite you to come before that committee. That process is over now. The committee has presented its report to the president. And we want to have a broad-based kind of appointment, especially at the local level. So president will also be listening to stakeholders. Stakeholders here, you are talking about chiefs, you are talking about local opinion leaders, you are talking about MPs, you are talking about constituency people, you are talking about regional.
You must be under pressure.
But you manage it. You manage it. The most difficult aspect is how to manage my phones, the calls here and there. And you can't pick, or as I'm here, a lot of people may not know even I'm here. So by the time you get back to your phone, almost close to about 50, 60, 80 missed calls. You can't call or back all of them and all that. If you are lucky and they test you, that one is easier calling back and all. So
a lot of party people disappointed that they are not getting the rewards that they should have gotten. Judging from the kind of impact they thought they made in the election.
It's lack of understanding of the process. And primarily, I look at it from this standpoint, like we've not been able to get them to understand where we are. You understand? Because even if you are talking about president appointing even 100,000, obviously the votes we had or got was close to 5 million plus. So if all members of the party are looking for jobs or appointment, political appointment, obviously some will be disappointed. You understand? So, and they are not, some of them are not aware of job openings, apart from this flagship appointment, so to speak. You understand? Because there are lots of opportunities down there at the district assembly, at the regional coordinating council, even at the civil service, beyond the ministers and chief executives and the boss and all that. There are lots of career development jobs available. For instance, I'm on the board of TOR. We've been able to do an induction course for board of directors, met management, and taking us through. You realize there are a lot of openings that need to be filled. These are positions that if management settle, if boards that are being put together get set, there are a lot of job openings will be made available. Most of the boards are not even in place as we speak now. So even if they want to appoint, who do they appoint? You need board to ratify most of these decisions. It is just about a week ago that the appropriation bill was approved by Parliament. So most MMD or MDAs, it is now that activities, programs, contracts, memorandum that they are looking at can have effect. You understand? And we want to run what we used to have that single treasury account where all MDA's accounts will be at the central bank, so that it will enable government to monitor and be able to make available unused funds, rather than having those monies with the MDAs and government going to borrow its own money for its activity. The simple example is that, for instance, assuming Ministry of Agric is allocated, say, 100 million Ghana cedis. By April, they may have used, say, 20 million Ghana cedis. Say, Works and Housing has been allocated around, say, 50 million Ghana cedis, and the money has not been transferred to their accounts. If you are not very careful, you allow Works and Housing to go out shopping for resources.
When there are resources,
available.
So you're trying to mop all of that
yeah,
up.
we are doing that in order to ensure that we effectively use government. Because if you are not careful, you get government going to the open market competing with the private sector, while some money that are unused somewhere else.
I wanted to ask you a question about the appointment, but just quickly, since you brought up TOR, I'm just curious, what do you bring to the TOR board?
It's a place that have huge potential, only that we've allowed it to be run down. It's sad to note, and it's such a huge potential resource that will have enabled us reduce our dependence on imports of especially finished products.
Yeah. What do you bring to the board, though?
We've put together it's a teamwork.
I know, but I'm talking about you. You're here. What do you bring?
I come to that board with vast experience in finance, political organization, managerial organization. I've been running my business over the period. With my finance background, I have an eye on how to monitor, evaluate, and help in controlling processes, especially financial processes, you understand? I also come there with my network in government to ensure that debt overhang of the board of TOR is resolved primarily by government, because it is government decision that run the place down.
So you are the party eye there.
Not just
because
that.
you are the acting general secretary and the national organizer. So you are the party eye.
Not just that.
Superintending over TOR.
I'm bringing that experience and getting government to understand that unless government don't want to get it running, if government want to get it running, considering its huge potential, it is one of the few businesses with high technological demands that are run by Ghanaians fully. You understand? And they have well-trained, only that for the past 8 years, they've not been running. So most of their expertise have gone outside our jurisdiction. If we want to tap that potential, then government need to invest. It doesn't matter it is NDC government that run it down, it doesn't matter. What is important is that governments need to pump a lot of resources
and make it work.
To make it work. Because if you look at just running costs, fixed cost per month of TOR, is close to about 1 million Ghana cedis. Meaning that they need to raise no less than 100 million Ghana cedis for their fixed costs. This is made up of their electricity, water, salaries, and few administrative expenses. You understand?
Yeah. So hopefully with your background, you'll be able to streamline things and make it work for the benefit of Ghanaians.
I hope government understands that. I hope government policy of making sure that after all, we've discovered oil in large commercial quantities. It doesn't make sense for us to be getting this oil and sending it outside for it to be refined.
We can do it here.
I don't think
Two quick points on the appointments. So these appointments that are being made, are they limited to NPP members alone? I mean, or do you have NDC people dropping their CVs and say, John, consider me?
It's limited to Ghanaians. So if you are NDC and you muster the courage and you believe in the vision of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and you qualify.
You won't vet people to find out what background, who they support?
As for vetting, we will do.
Is that a question you ask? Which party do you support?
Not exactly, but it's a vision that you support.
So you will ask the question.
Yes.
And if you say CPP,
It's
or
not
NDC?
a question. No. It's the vision. You have people in CPP who are more MPP than even MPP people.
Okay.
So it is the vision we are looking at. For instance, we believe that this business, and I think yesterday the president announced it, that this business about government official, people go into government, run for 4 years, 8 years, if they are getting home, the cars that they use, they deliberately underuse it and sell it to themselves. I think this is criminal, so to speak. You understand? It was a good policy meant to ensure that people who work in the civil service rise through the ranks to the chief directors and principal secretaries and all that, who, because of salaries that are generally low, we want to encourage them to continue to be prudent, continue not to be corrupt.
So the car becomes a reward.
So that it won't get to a point where somebody finishes his term working for Ghana as chief director, and the next moment he's on pension, he's on the streets. You see, it is a good policy that was put in. It has been abused greatly, and I think that is something that, for now, yes, we've cancelled it. We'll look at it on the need basis.
The pressure comes from the party?
I personally have spoken against it for a very long time. Not necessarily, even at the cabinet retreat, it wasn't part of the topics. But I think that the president believes and strongly think that it is something that has been abused. If you remember, in 2012 or 13, thereabouts, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the former president, gave a directive that practice must cease. But nobody respected him. You understand? So I think that it is, and it will afford us the opportunity not to go back to the same system where government is changed and all that you hear is about cars, all about cars. Changing cars,
so new king, new law.
Beyond even that, if you look at the Transitional Act, if government had been meticulous and even agreed to even go by what the Act says, a month before general election, you should have done all your handing over.
Exactly.
And that will contain all assets and liabilities of government, and everybody will be free.
So now we hope that things will happen in the right way. So the president has spoken, and we know that it will be done.
Nothing more than making sure that he leaves a heritage, he leaves an inheritance that stands out.
Indeed. Last question on appointments. Did you refuse a ministerial appointment by the president?
I didn't even created an opportunity for anybody to offer me. So from the beginning, I said, I'm not moving.
Were you offered?
Remaining. I'm saying I didn't even offer or create an opportunity for me to be even offered.
This answer my question, though. Were you offered a ministerial
position? I didn't even give that chance, because right from the time we won the election, I made it clear, I said it openly.
So was Kennedy Japan lying on the 28th of
No,
February?
he didn't. You
said
see,
you didn't,
we come
post.
from almost the same enclave. And our chiefs and people, even throughout the elections, were demanding that myself, Kennedy, and some few people should be made ministers. So immediately after the election, I spoke with him, and he wanted me to take transfer. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. Because I can't see how you give birth to your child, the child starts preparatory school, then you go and sit in the class with your child. It's only in Japan that if children don't go to school, the parents will go there and learn and come and teach it. Even that, it is once in a while, not all the time. So party that has given birth to a government need to offer the government the necessary shield for the government to run. You understand? So if all of us run into government, who is to manage the party? Who is to manage the expectations?
So it's a no, you're not interested in the ministerial positions. Okay, I'm here with the acting general secretary. He also has another hat. So he's a national organizer of the New Patriotic Party, John Bwedu. We're looking at a range of issues that are in the public domain. And you can send your WhatsApps to the number on your screen right now. And the hashtag, of course, is GHToday. Now, let's talk about what everybody in Ghana has been talking about for the past 3 or 4 weeks. It has to do with these Delta Force chaps and the condemnation that has come from all quarters, latest one coming from the UN. The president has spoken about his will and his resolve to deal with the issue. But there are still lots of questions arising. For those of you who probably have not seen the footage, let's just flash back, and then I'll come back and speak with Mr. John Bredu about what has been happening over the past 3 or 4 weeks.
Ghanaians witnessed the height of impunity today after members of the Delta Force, a vigilante group affiliated to the governing New Patriotic Party, stormed the Kumasi Circuit Court to set free suspects and members of the force facing prosecution for acts of vandalism. The act captured on video showed how the group, numbering about 50, besieged the court premises Thursday in chants and taunts, broke into the court cells and freed their members. The police, as we are told by our Ashanti regional correspondent, were outnumbered and caught between securing the suspects and protecting the judge, Mary Century. The safety of the judge was a priority, and without any resistance by the police, the vigilante group broke into the makeshift cell and released their colleagues. The judge had announced that the suspects were going to be remanded for 2 weeks pending further investigation, a move that did not go down well with the members of the vigilante group who were in the court premises. The Delta Force came to the limelight weeks ago after they invaded the Ashanti Regional Security Council and manhandled the Regional Security Coordinator, George Ajay, with claims he did nothing to help the NPP struggle to power.
So you saw 2 videos. One was the Delta Force attack on Mr. George Ajay, and then the one on the courts. Update is that the eight of the gentlemen who went to spring their colleagues free from the court have been remanded for up until the 18th, I believe, of this month. Mr. Boydu, do you support these people in their activities, these Delta Force guys?
I think that they've been condemned enough by all. Even those who don't believe in the condemnation have joined the chorus in condemning them.
Are they party carrying people?
Let me come there. Even those who don't
Can't
believe,
carry.
those who, if they were in power, will have seen this as normal, have joined in the condemnation. And I think that is very good and positive for this country. We've not seen clearly from the party's position anybody or people supporting the act. You understand? I see it as a security mishap. It's a security underestimating how to manage a crowd. You understand? First of all, it is about miscommunication. These are young guys who were part of the election process.
So you know them?
Towards, obviously. These are young people we work with. These are people who help in protecting and securing our votes and securing our persons, securing our properties.
In what way?
In a lot of ways. For instance, I remember I was on my way to a Sutifi South where Collins Dada and the brother has taken everybody hostage, beat people, beat police people, nothing happened in this country. I went there helping to monitor a registration exercise. When I got to Kumasi, strangely, I don't move about with security most often, but I don't know why I decided to get some of these guys on board. They came with another. Had it not been the presence of this guy, I wouldn't know what would have happened.
What happened?
That Collins Dada's brother said that I have no right to be there. It's their zone. He was there with lots of some of these guys with guns and machetes and all that. The intervention of the police did little. It even angered them. They charged on me, wanting to kill me with guns, warning shot. The police has to run for cover and all that. This happened in broad daylight.
And these chaps defended you?
They are the ones who protected
Were
me.
they armed?
It's the constituency chairman who was beaten to pulp. As we speak now,
Were
he
they
can't
armed?
even.
Were your guys, the guys defending you,
No,
were they
no, no,
armed?
no.
So how did they
No.
stave off people who had
You
guns
see, strangely
and
enough,
machetes?
some of them know the other group that came. I think they were recruited from Nima and other places. So they tried to protect. Some of them have to fight them and all that. It's murky.
None of your
If
people
you-
were armed.
No.
How can I believe that?
How can't you believe it?
How can unarmed people repel people who are armed?
Because they are well trained. Because they are well trained.
By
They
who?
understand.
Who trained them?
These are party security people we've been using to protect us.
Trained by who?
Trained by the party. I told you I was constituency secretary as far back as 1998.
But
I've gone through the mill. You know, so if you,
But the
we
NPP
have-
is not a paramilitary force. It's a political
we
party.
have,
How do
we
you
have
train these
political
people?
party and have our people that protect our properties and life. If you come to the headquarters, it is not Ghana police that protect our place. You were a witness to a situation where our headquarters was brutally attacked at dawn. You understand? And it is these same people. Let me come back straight to it.
But
You
John,
see,
before you
so
come
these
back, the
are-
police are looking for some of these people. Why don't you hand them over?
They are not looking. Who are they
The
looking
police
for?
are looking for a lot
We
of
are
these
the ones who
Delta
handed.
Force people.
We are the ones who handed. You see, that's why I want to be sequential so that I can be logical in these things. You see, so having won the election, I think that they felt that because they were the security behind
Yes.
the party, they protected the party in the region. You remember, it is Ashanti region that our opponents were making so much noise about 1 million votes and all that. Even later on in the election, they said they've increased it to 1.5. They couldn't even get 400,000. Yes, it is these same people who help. Having won the election, I think that they thought that national security, which goes beyond just protecting party people. It's about security of the nation, security of the party, security of citizens, security of everything of the region. And this is the work of national security. You understand? So they thought that, having done that, one of their own will be appointed as the regional security coordinator, which was wrong.
I just want to
understand?
back up what you have said. This is a direct quote from Ernest Apia Dankwa on Silver FM Kumasi. He says, we are more than 1,000 and we worked for the party after joining them from the NDC 8 years ago. We've worked for the party to come into power and suffered various forms of injustice, but today they are calling us criminals. If that is the case, we'll soon return to the NDC and work for them in 2020 because our sacrifices have not been appreciated since we don't have certificates. So this is what one of these Delta Force chaps called Ernest in Kumasi is saying.
If you understand,
just to back up what you've just said.
If you understand this process, sometimes you won't even go further by describing them as criminals. Although what they
No, this is
did,
what he said.
Yeah, it's because others are doing that. That's why he's taking it so.
Are they
You
angry
understand?
with Mr. Kandapa?
Obviously, some of them are. You understand? Some of them are. But let me come back. You see, so they thought that having done what they did, they should have been given the opportunity to get one of their own to be the regional security coordinator. So when this Mr. J was sent there, they didn't know him. Yes, it's true, they didn't know him. But this is a person that I, as the General Secretary of the National Organization, has been working with. He used to be a BNI director for, I think, the Eastern region. And, because of politics, he was removed. He was doing a lot of work for me in the Eastern region. You understand? They didn't know. If there had been proud communication, understanding.
So
They
you
will
failed.
realize
You failed in letting your people know that this is one of your
no,
own,
but
actually.
no, I'm saying that this is national security. It has nothing to do with party.
Well,
You
but the
understand?
party people have acted.
So that's why I'm saying that it's a security mishap. It's a mistake that could have been avoided entirely. Could have been avoided. So if you look at the first clip that you showed, it is the police that guarded. But I'm even saying that for a security establishment to have allowed young guys to mass up at a place without even knowing in the first place is wrong.
So you blame the police, really?
Not just I mean the security arrangement.
Yes,
and the security,
of which the police is an integral part.
Security apparatus.
Yeah.
For instance, at the court, if it is the intention, which the president believes that what will happen shouldn't have happened in the first place, he believes that we shouldn't have a Ghana where people takes up the law into their own hands and exact justice based on their own thinking and understanding. So we have suffered that. We don't want anybody to suffer such inhuman treatment in our lives as a country. So we want to stamp strong authority and send the right signal that even if you are a member and you do things that go contrary to established rules and regulations and norms of our country, you'll be dealt with.
But are not your party people making the country ungovernable for the president?
Not exactly. These are things that you need to manage. These are things that will happen. And you need to show. Because if, for instance, the president had not been strong in this, somebody is posted as whatever in other regions, youthful people of the place may say that we don't. You realize that this happened in 2009, 2010, where DCs were chased here and there, DCs were beaten, nothing happened. You see, it is a culture that has been accepted as a norm.
But
that
it can
is
end,
difficult.
just like the president says, no more purchases of state cars.
Fantastic.
It can
That's
end
exactly
in one day.
You see, that's exactly what we are doing. And instead of the Ghanaian people joining in encouraging our party and our government for standing firm to stamp out something that has been happening and we've taken it as normal, we are rather creating an impression that we are even doing the wrong thing. You see,
the head of the majority in parliament says, and I quote, that the Delta forces are putting the MPP to shame. Do you agree with him?
To the extent that everybody is condemning, to the extent that I agree that it ought not to have happened, to the extent that I'm saying that there was a security mishap, security lack of understanding or underestimating the force. Clearly, something that nobody, for instance, if GHOne is to say something about Ghana, it should be about having come to power within 3 months, having realigned government expenditure and making resources more available to the vulnerable and the poor. That is what GHOne need to be commending us about.
And not Delta forces.
Not on this.
And on this point, I just want to clear this up. Is it invincible forces or invisible, as we can't see them?
Well, why are you bringing them in?
No, because they're also affiliated to your party.
Why are you bringing
Somebody wanted me to clear it up.
Why are you bringing
Somebody
them?
wanted to clear
so
it up.
I'm saying,
are they invisible or invisible?
Let me make this point.
GHOne.
You see, let me finish. I'll come there. There's no problem with that. I'll come there. For these guys to be sent to courts, the police were aware of the numbers that has come. I think that the security agencies were aware about the discontent amongst them. So they were aware of a lot of processes.
So
that was put in
that
place.
instance, they failed. But then they've also been, the Delta forces have also been interviewed, and they said they were given assurances from the party people that everything will be sorted out, only for them to go to the court and find out that this judge had now remanded their people, and that is what exploded their rage. So what assurances did your people in the region give?
Every responsible political party would do. Haven't seen your party people committed something that they ought not to have done, we call them, chastise them, got them to even apologize to the president. Some of them came to Accra, we were having a steering committee. We brought them. The president was there. They came to apologize. We chastised them and assured them that we will make sure. As for the due process of the law, we'll let it go on. You understand? So if they had an assurance from us, yes, we assured them. After chastising them, we got them to understand that you can't take the law into your own hands. But you are, it's like your kid or your children having done something wrong. You chastise, but you don't throw them away, do you? You don't.
So,
you understand?
so how many of these chaps are around? We know the Delta forces are in Kumasi. We know the invincible or invisible are here in Greater Accra. Is it invisible or invincible?
It is not in... Well, I think that they interchange it.
So it's both. You recognize both.
I think that they interchange it. But seriously, when you talk of invincible boys, not just in Accra, there are
they were in Kintampo too.
There are people, or you see this Kintampo thing, and I think that we joke too much in this country. We joke too much. One, this is an establishment that was managed by people that, from what Obribuahin said, that he had people manning the place, the NDC came and sacked them. I don't think the NDC people that manned the place had any serious training. They were there.
And so then your people came and took over.
Unfortunately, what happened, there's no way any group of people could have avoided it.
But the fact remains that they did take over the facility.
Why not? What is wrong
you
about
them.
I'm saying that
but
is wrong.
They are not legally mandated to take over,
who is legally mandated?
The people, the Ghana Tourist Authority.
And the Ghana
invisible forces cannot be tourist.
Has Ghana Tourist Authority complained to you that people are manning the place without their authority?
So we need a complaint for them to allow this to go.
I'm saying that the Ghana Tourist Authority or board complained that there are people taking over their premises that they have not sanctioned.
But it's a bit like saying that if somebody takes over a toilet, public toilet, because they don't come and complain, we should allow them to take over the public toilet, which your people have been doing.
No, if somebody takes over, for instance, if you come to Agbogboloshi, people used to have their properties there, running the place. Some of them have public toilets, some of them have bathrooms that they rent out and all that. At some point, they were driven off the place by some NDC tax.
In 2009.
In 2009.
Just like happened in 2001 when your people also drew. It's just a cycle. When does it end, John?
No, but I'm saying that this is a private property.
Yeah, when does it end?
That's why we are taking the bold decision and you are not helping us take the bold decision. You are getting us to come and defend them. We are not defending them. We are making sure the right things are done. If anybody takes the law into his own hands, we'll deal with it.
John, give them up. Give them up. Don't just condemn. Give them up. Give a list of all these people to the police, let them arrest them. And
that has not been done.
You've done that?
That has not been done.
No, you tell me.
You are talking as if it is something that I sat in my office.
Have you done it?
Call about 20 people that have their names, send them out there to do something. So if there's a problem, I should give the list to the police.
Your own Gary Nimako, who speaks for the MPP, is defending these chaps in court and says they are not the ones who were. They are not the ones who were there.
So what are you talking about?
He says they were far away from the scene of the crime. So these are the people not involved.
What are you talking about?
But I am saying that a lawyer who represents your party is defending these chaps.
So we shouldn't have lawyers for them. We should go and bring NDC lawyers.
You're stretching the argument and you know you're stretching the argument.
I'm not stretching the argument because the point that somebody is defending them as a lawyer, it's no point that it speaks for us. So we should bring NDC lawyers to defend them.
You tell me.
Yeah, I can't understand. This is a lawyer defending people. It is possible that some of them that has been arrested were not even part of it. It is possible. It is possible that some of them were just caught. For instance, if I had been at the court premises on that day, in what happened, I may be caught up in the event. I can be arrested. It does not mean that I'm part of it. So if you're a lawyer and you are defending people and your client tells you that on that day, or in the event, I was not part of it, I was just a bystander. What is wrong about it? It is because Gary Nimako is saying it, or we should have Tony Lita to defend them.
Can I suggest that you are forced to defend these people because they are your people, and if you don't, it will send a serious signal to the Delta forces that, hey, Charlie, we work for these guys, and we've gone to court, and they've left us to hang out to dry.
We
So
are-
you
we
are tied. Your hands are
forced
tied. You're
to
forced to
do the
defend
right
them.
thing.
But
We
in
are
one mouth
forced-
you condemn, and in another mouth you
So if your
you
child,
defend.
as you sit, if your child goes out to do something wrong, won't you chastise
These
your
are
child?
not children. These are grown men.
These are
Attacking a
political.
court.
No. These are. I'm saying, if your child, don't you have a child that is grown? As I sit here, I have
Not
a
as
child-
grown as those muscle guys who
I have
attack
a
a
child
court.
that is almost 20 years who can be part. If he was muscular enough, he will have been part of it.
But it's a serious thing we are joking with,
come.
John.
It is
They
not,
attacked the
because
court.
I am.
They
Listen
attacked
to
the
me.
court. It's a
Listen to
serious
me.
thing.
Listen to me. As you describe, I'm the general secretary. You describe me as the chief executive officer of the party.
Yes.
So everybody in the party, I manage them. So if I'm referring to them and using the example of a child, it is in tune with the arrangement that I'm talking about. And we have party structures, of which these people fall under the party structure. They've done something that is wrong. We've condemned, chastised them in the open and in the closet. We've allowed due process of the law to continue, even after the so-called break. The people themselves just offered themselves up to the police. Is that not what happened? Was the police the ones who went and arrested them? Because if, for instance, I've been brought before court, I've been remanded, then group of people from outside come and assuming they come to even raid it. What have I committed anything? Have I committed
Lots of
anything?
rhetorical questions.
Have I committed
I want to
anything?
get this from you, Mr. Bedu, acting General Secretary of the MPP. Can you actually assure us that such acts will not be repeated in the future?
I can assure you that even if it is repeated, the police and the party and the government will make sure rule of law prevails.
This is a conditional assurance, which I cannot have confidence
Are
in.
you saying that I should be sitting here to say that it can never happen again?
They are your children. If you say stop, they'll stop. If they listen to your voice.
And you mean as a group of people, even in our party management, even in deciding to open parliamentary nominations for people to apply, there are occasions that groups under us may not be happy about one decision or the other.
And go
you understand? Hey, so I can't sit here and say that I'm assuring you that nothing like that will happen. If it happens, then you call me, John, did you lie about what you said? No, I'm saying that even if, because we are managing people, and this is human institution.
Are you in control of the invincible forces?
Exactly.
Are you in control of the Delta forces?
Exactly.
Do Burger Bulldogs exist?
I don't know them.
You don't know them. How about Kandahar forces?
Can we? Yes, I know them.
You know
They
them. Are you in control of them?
Obviously.
How about?
You are going to ask
Yeah,
all these
I want to know because I need to be sure whether they are just jokes or they are real. Terminator 1.
Do
you know them?
Excuse me. Let's
Do you know them?
Let's get on track.
No,
you
do
see,
you know them, though?
let's get on track. You see,
Are they your
these
boys?
are every structure of our party throughout the country. Apart from campaigners, apart from communicators, apart from researchers, apart from administrators, apart from organizers, we have security as part of our structure.
Terminator 1 is one of them.
I don't know.
Rambo Babies, Volta Region. No.
Some of them are
They
jokes.
sound like movies. I want to be sure.
Some of them are jokes.
I mean, Bulldog sounds like a basketball team, but you said they are real.
I'm saying,
Kandahar boys.
You didn't even listen to me. I said I don't
know that, but Kandahar is real.
Yeah.
Kandahar is real.
Yeah.
Are you in control of them?
These are youth members of our party
Okay.
in the northern region.
All right.
In the northern region. And these are groups. You see, you sit at the comfort of your set and think that it is easy.
No,
out
that's
there.
why I brought you here, and we are glad you're here
It
because
is
you are the
easy
one
out
who is
there.
managing all these things. So we need to find out from
men
you.
and women. You see, in the northern region, they have bases, and they have. If you even mention some, you don't even know some of the names. They have funny names,
Like?
depending on the kind of motivation that brings them together. You understand? And they have bases. You can even, for instance, if you go to Upper East, you have the Holland base, you have the Atlantic base, you have the Zongo base, you have the Dazota group, you have a lot of them. You have there's this, it's not loyal ladies, there's some ladies. You know, these are groups of people.
Oh, you have women also?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Who are part of our campaign process.
Okay.
You understand? So these are a group of people, young people, that mobilizes around some of these organizations for us.
Will they
as a
all be
party.
needing jobs?
Yes, we will create jobs, and some of them who don't have jobs will be created, will be employed. Why not?
And if they're not qualified, what happens?
But I didn't say all of them will be taken on board. There are some of them who have their own career. There are some of them, I know some of them even work at GRA. Some of them are accountants, some of them are doctors, some of them are nurses and all that. Those ones may not need you. Maybe they may need career shifts here and there. For some of them who don't have the requisite background, we, as part of our program, Youth Employment Agency, we have a lot of models that we are putting together that will take some of them through training, proper training, as they work. Some few allowances will go till they end up deciding on the career path they want to chart. These are things that we will do.
How do you relax from all this wahala? It must seem like a big job, trying to satisfy all these people and having tussles with people in all.
That is what politics is about.
How do you relax?
I say that's what politics is about. I relax in the midst of this.
So this is relaxation for you?
Yeah, I relax in the midst of this. Because of the difficulties over time, because of high rate of unemployment, because of high rate of youth, particularly unemployment. Not just that, because a lot of the youth are even unskilled. You understand? Having won power and having helped you to win power, you need to manage their expectation, and that's exactly what you are doing. Unfortunately for us, we are just 3 months in our government. Even most ministers that were appointed, some of them are just 1 month in their offices. The deputies, it is now by tomorrow that we will inaugurate some of them. Most of the boards are not in place. Most of the chief executives that have been appointed have not started their work.
There's a lot of work.
There are a lot of work to do. All that I will say is that we are not going to use people, get people to work for the New Patriotic Party and all too soon forget about them.
Okay.
What business do we have doing that? Because, not just because 4 years is around the corner, but because we believe that the Ghanaian people have to work, decent work for decent salary.
I want to wrap up this conversation by asking you this question. Is the party on a collision course with the National Security Minister because he's committed to disbanding these groups? Is there going to be a problem?
Committed to do what?
Disbanding
How are you going to disband Dazota Boys, Atlantic Base? How are you going to do it?
Withdraw your political support for these chaps. That's how you disband it.
Is he the general secretary of the party or the national?
It means you are not going to withdraw support for them.
I'm saying that these are a group of people that have great utility for the party.
So you're not going to use, you're going to
I'm saying
support them.
that have great utility for the party.
You're not answering my question, sir.
I'm answering the question as I must answer. I'm saying that these are youthful people that have great utility for the party. It is about managing and guiding them. It is about guarding them and making sure that you put them to useful uses.
Even though they do lawless things that you will condemn?
No, if they do lawless things, the law will take its route.
But as a general secretary, acting general secretary, you will still support them?
I will still support them. I'll still make sure that they work within our laws. I'll still encourage them and motivate them to be useful citizens of our country because they have a lot of resource and a lot of utility that the party can use for its activity.
Will you be surprised if they are jailed by the court for the action?
I have no control over the court and court decisions. So that one, I will not be surprised or be surprised. That is court process, and we have decided that I want to make sure that the rule of law is respected. It is unconscionable for us to see a situation where court takes decision and groups of people will decide that we disagree. Not just disagree, you have the right to disagree, but take the law into your hands. It's something that we, New Patriotic Party, will not encourage at all.
And finally, do you look forward to being confirmed as a substantive General Secretary?
Confirmed? What do you mean by confirmed?
You are acting now.
Oh, you see, that our Constitution has said that. It's not a question of just confirming. If it's just confirming, I would have been confirmed long ago. But because you have a General Secretary that has not been removed, that is under suspension. There's no way until he's removed or he resigns, you can be confirmed. And that's why
Do you chat with
it
him?
is. Oh, once in a while.
When was the last time?
Once in a while. Oh, quite a while.
Last year?
We've met, if you are talking about chatting, then we've met occasionally in some of these programs here and there. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. John Boydu, it's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you.
Acting General Secretary.
Thank you.
And the national organizer of the New Patriotic Party, and that was Hardtalk.